Well, good afternoon, everybody. Well, I'll tell you, we went from winter to summer. There was no spring. We didn't have it. Sorry, there wasn't none this year. Got up into the 90s. How you two doing? Huh? How you two doing? Everybody is growing like weeds. It's like the grass is finally growing. It finally got warm enough to make the grass to grow. And all these little guys and gals are growing like weeds. I'll tell you what, there's horns coming out. We got little horns growing on some of these. And all in all, I would say everybody's doing pretty good. And we even have, there's a few of these guys already spoken for and sold. Down the line, we'll get into more of which ones are still available and which ones we'll keep around, which ones may stay for quite a while, or which ones are going to be leaving here in July. But right now, everybody's, like I said, growing real good, real happy. So the thing you need to wonder next is it too early to start thinking about breeding already for this fall? And my answer to that is no, because I've already been thinking about it. I've already been planning. Now, I have taken, the ewes are now moved way to one of the far pastures. I think tomorrow I might give them the other one. Here's the two pastures where I had been keeping the ewes while lambing earlier. As you can see, they're starting to grow. This pasture here, I actually have been putting the rams out here the last 2 or 3 days. I've been sticking them out so I can let their two pastures go. Let me see if I can get by everybody. Everybody got to move? Let me by? Yeah, then I can get over here by the rams without having to go all the way over. Here we go. So I got the rams. They're over here. Still looking a little rugged. They're starting to get the, they're getting the winter coats off. They're looking a little better, but boy, they've been looking, looking a little rugged. I did take, this is my swing gate that's always in place. I added 2 corral panels real quick, and that's because when the rams are out here, the ewes are here. And so seeing as how they got the common fence, I thought, just shouldn't be any rams wanting to try to do anything, but we're gonna play it a little bit safe. So yes, I'm already thinking the 2 rams we're gonna keep, of course, will be Stu and Stony are gonna be our breeder rams. And right now the plan is I will divide the ewes. Right now I'm thinking 5 and 5. So then you get down to you say, well, okay, well, what's some of the things you think about? Well, let me show you one real quick. I got 2 ewes right here in front, the white with the brown. There's that one's heading that direction. And I got this one right here. And you know, you look at those and you say, well, those two look a little bit alike. I mean, they both got horns. The other one's got bigger horns, but they both look a little alike. And they both actually came from the same place. This ewe here is Brownie. My son bought her, son-in-law, bought her in 2019. All right, and then I went back as a weanling. She was bought as a weanling in 2019. And then in 2021, you get this one right here. I bought this one in 2021 from the same place. That's Cayenne. Now, Cayenne is out of a ram named Tombstone. And Brownie was out of a ram named Rocky. So I knew 2 separate rams, no problem. But I'm starting to do pedigree work. I'm starting to set up pedigrees and doing stuff for all the lambs here, because if you're getting ready to sell, you want to do some pedigrees and stuff. And I did one, and I was doing another, and all of a sudden a name came up, and I thought, I've heard that name. Where did I see the other name before? I've seen that name. It was a ewe's name. And I looked, and lo and behold, Brownie and Cayenne are out of the same ewe. Now, I didn't notice it for part of a reason is Brownie is a 2019 and Cayenne's a 2019. They were born the same year, but they're from different rams. So that was as far as I looked. And now, but I looked, well, it turns out Brownie was born April 2019. Cayenne was born December 2019. So turns out they're half sisters, and I didn't even know it. So what I will probably do, Brownie and Cayenne, I'm going to put with the same ram. I want to put them with the same ram because seeing as how they're half sisters or they're closely related, I want to be in a position that any of their ewe lambs should be able to be bred by the other ram lamb. If I split them, then okay, well this one's ewe lamb's got to be up to that one, and this one's got, I figure it's got to be a whole lot easier to put them together. Now, right here is Callie. There's Callie, and that's her little ram lamb in front, and that's her little ewe lamb behind. The little ram lamb is sold. He is already sold. He's headed out western Nebraska. He is going to the gentleman that bought the 2 ewes from me back in January. That's going to be his ram lamb. And that's the little ewe lamb. And she would be by Stony. And I'll tell you what, now that one's available, but you see the pedigree on that one? That thing's got more Gold Star rams on his papers. So I want to take Callie, and we're going to breed her to Stony again next year. I want to breed her the same way to get the exact same lambs. So I know that one's going that way. I know 2 of them are going to go to the same ram. I just don't know which one. I do know right behind Callie is Billy Joe, a mostly brown one that's trying to head out real quick because she's shy and doesn't like people. She is going to go to Stony, because there she is there. And she has that brown ram is hers. She's going to go to Stony, and main reason is she is really well bred, just like with Callie, what we're getting there. So I want her to go to Stony because that's going to be a great matchup. Beyond that, I'm not too sure. All right, so right now I know I have 2 ewes I'm going to put with Stony. I know I have 2 ewes I'm going to put somewhere. And because they're the 2 of them, I'm going to say right now they're going to go to Stu. And the reason is, if I put those up here to Stony, I only got 1 lamb left. Everything else has got to go the other direction. So, but I'm already thinking about it. We're already planning for it. And I guess we'll just kind of see. Now, that little spotted one right there, that little ewe lamb right there, which is by Brownie, I'm keeping that one, I think. But as my dad used to say, everything's got a price. Somebody offers me enough money, they're probably going to own it. I plan on keeping her. Hey, bud, how you doing? And you're a little shy. And the reason I want to keep her, if I get back here behind everybody, Dub, can you move? There we go. That little guy right there. That little guy is my plan to keep him also. And I'd like to breed him to the little ewe right behind him. That's, oh, I just heard the dog bark, huh? You heard Cash? That's my game plan. That's what I'm telling you I'm going to do today. But I've also just told you, if somebody comes up with enough money, that may not happen. We'll have to see. But they're going to be priced high enough that hopefully I get to keep them. But I think it's really good. I think the coloring is going to be really interesting on those. That one is more, that one's going to be more of a color breeding than a genetics breeding. All right, so she's got pretty good genetics, and he's going to be okay on genetics, but he's out of Hershey. Hershey's not registered, all right? But she was bred to Stony, so the lamb is registered. Because the sire is registered, the lamb automatically gets to be registered. Even though the ewe isn't, as long as the ram is, that's all that counts. So he's registered, but he's not going to have much in his pedigree. Because Hershey's not registered, what are you going to have for pedigree? Not much. So genetics-wise, I know Hershey throws big lambs. She throws nice-sized big lambs. I know Stony's got great genetics. I know I'm going to have great genetics coming from Rocky. But we're going to be missing a little on the one side. So the genetics aren't as great there as they would be for a Stony Callie matchup or a Stony Billy Joe. There's just going to be, you do that matchup and you're going to be looking at 5 or 6 Gold Star rams on the papers. You won't be looking at that many with this cross. But this one's going to be almost more about color. I'm going to do that for color almost as much as anything else. Now the other ones that are going to be little odd ones out this year will be Tammy's 2 little white guys in the corner. Yes, my 2 little white ones right there. They're registrable. They can be registered. They would be hardship. By hardship, that means if you want to save them as a ram and breed them, their offspring will have to have some kind of color. They can't be pure white. As long as their offspring has any kind of color at all, that's going to be registrable. And matter of fact, that's a kind of a situation down here, if you can see him or not, and the sun and everything. If I go down there, little Wayne who's out there eating, there's a little brown spot on his tail. He's got a little brown spot in his tail, and he's got one on his knee, or two on his knees. That's his color. That's it. That's all he's got. And his sire is hardship. His sire was pure white, was a hardship, but because he's got 3 spots on him, and he comes from Tammy, because he's got those 3 spots, that's enough. He can be registered, and he is registered Painted Desert. So these 2 over here, those 2 little ones, will probably, they can be registered Painted Desert. It's hard to say. I mean, I got a lot of rams. Those guys could probably just as easily be around, stay a couple years, grow some horns. And if they're pure white, well, Tammy's Texas doll. So, I mean, they could end up at a high fence hunting operation and go out as Texas dolls. They can't all be going for breeders. Everything you raise cannot be breeder quality, all right? It just doesn't work that way. So you can't expect every ram you're going to have is going to be that great breeder quality. I think the colored ram here, his genetic quality is not going to be as good as others. This little guy right down here, the one that's heading out to western Nebraska, the quality of his genetics are great. He's got all kinds of Gold Star rams on his paper, far more than he will. So there's different ways you breed or different reasons you breed. And I got really flashy colors there. I got some flashy colors with you. So I thought, hey, let's keep them. Let's breed them. Let's see if we come out with colors, because there's some people, they just want color. Not everybody wants 5 Gold Star rams in the papers. If you're going to raise Painted Desert sheep yourself, all right? You're going to do it yourself. Not everybody cares about 5 Gold Star rams in the papers. They don't care. What they want is, I want that really flashy colors. I want something that looks really cool, and I really don't care beyond that. So, in a sense, I could be breeding everything for all the Gold Stars, and some people could care less. They're going, I want that color. I want that flashy color on that. That's what I'm looking for, and I really don't care. I didn't even care if it's registered. So you have to really kind of, sometimes you get to breed for everybody and cover your bases on all of it. And it's nice when you can still have flashy colors like I'd get with those, and I'll still have some Gold Stars on the paper. May not have 5 or 6, but we'll probably have 2 or 3 anyway. So everybody come down and see what's going on. And this little guy, you look just like your daddy. You do. He looks just like Longshot. And as you can see, I got him a little something to play on. Got him some tubs, give him something to jump around on. They think they have a good time with it. That's it. I don't have much, guys, because they're not doing right now. We're just letting them grow. We're thinking about breeding, and that's about all we can think of right now is just what are we going to do. Hey, I got something for you guys, though. All right, this little guy here that we're going to thinking of keeping, him right there. Give me a name. I'm looking for a name. His mother's Hershey. His dad's Stoney out of Rocky. And like I said, his mother's out of Hershey. I need a name for that one. So if I'm keeping that, I need to name it. And I'm not really great with names sometimes, so I can always use help for that. I won't guarantee I'll use it, but I'll consider it anyway. If anybody's got it, leave it in the comments. All right, that's all we're going to do for this week, guys. Maybe we'll be back next week. We'll see what we say next time we got something to do with them anyway. We'll check back.